Another question of, is it fixed? So this is my, what I call the Binford bad boy. The Binford bad boy has started life as a Poulan Pro 330. I put a 60cc cylinder on it. I've been in and out of this thing literally probably 20 times, tearing it all the way down, putting it all the way back together. This time, there were suspicions that the PTO side bearing was bad, or at least one of the bearings, because it would run all right. I sent it off to get ported, and once it was ported, it just wouldn't run right at all. And so the extra compression that it got, Dyno Joe ported it, by the way, all the extra compression that it got was probably, the theory is, really showing up in the crank bearings. And every time I put a bar and chain on it, it would go lean because you're pulling on that bad crank bearing. So this again, I took this all the way down, put both new bearings, new crank seals, put it back together, fingers crossed. All over the place. There we go. 13.5. We'll see how it does. Uh-oh. What caused that? What caused that? Idle's too low, I guess. Let me try this. we finally got this thing to run right. Maybe. Still having weird. Fuck, Chuck. The exhaust is going to come off now. Son of a bitch, if it ain't one thing, it is another. Damn it. I'm going to go tighten those exhaust bolts up. Come back to it. Okay, we're back. I tightened up the exhaust. Whenever it pulls on the high side, it's got great power. I was gonna die. All right. It's thunderous on the high side. It was pulling 12,000 RPMs in the cut. Whenever I dog it in, it dropped down into the 10,000 range, 10.6, 10.9, stuff like that. The power's there, but the low end, it's idling erratic. I can't quite dial it in. And I did the numbers on this thing where he put them. And I am wondering if the reason, I'm wondering if the reason that it's having idling issues is because of the blowdown timing. Because the blowdown timing was quite high. And now, the way I read it versus the way that he reads it, two different things, you know, but the way that I was reading it was 28 degrees of blowdown. But he probably has closer to 22, 24, I'm guessing, you know. Who am I to doubt Joe, you know what I mean? But I'm wondering, and Joe, I hope you're watching this, because I want your feedback, buddy. Still got issues. It's still got issues. And I'm ready to give up, man. It's been a long go with this saw. It's running, it's strong. Like I said, it's got the power. Man, it's pulling great. But that low end idling problem, I have a feeling it's because of the high blowdown. This is the first time he's ever ported one of these saws. And because of the issues with the bearings, he didn't have a chance to properly try it out. Things like that. I'd love to have you guys' thoughts on it, because I can't get it to properly idle. I just can't do it. You saw me just sitting there trying. I know somebody will throw in crap like, oh, it's a Poulan, you know. Boy, people love to hate Poulans. People love to hate Poulans. But, yeah, I'm thinking it should probably have 18 degrees of blowdown. Because the higher that blowdown number is, now it's give and take all over the place. The higher it is, the more crankcase pressure you have as that piston's going down before it lets the fuel out the transfers. Well, that's great for velocity getting that fuel into the combustion chamber. However, it's bad because when you're coming down and you're compressing that fuel, it has to have some place to go, and so it spits it back out the intake. And at high RPMs, it's no problem. It can keep up with itself, but at low RPMs, it's tending to push a lot of that fuel out the carburetor. I think that's what's going on. I think. Please, you guys, let me know. My measurement on this, he had the exhaust at like 102, 103, I think, which is great, right? He had the intake up around 80, 81, which I think is great. But then the transfers were really low. So I think they were, yeah, it was a 130 on the transfers. So 28 degrees. Let's say there's an error there. Let's say I messed up and he's got 24 degrees of blowdown. Okay, still high in my book, you know, but he's trying, and I know he had reasons, because he's thinking that's a big, you know, it's kind of got open ports, and so he's trying to make up for the excessive volume. He's trying to make up for it by pressurizing the crankcase as that piston goes down to really blast the fuel up through the transfers. And it works great at high RPM. But at low RPM, I'm finding difficulty with idle. And, you know, to be fair, whenever he asked me, I was like, I want it pretty hot. I don't, you know, I don't want to race saw, but I want it hotter than you would normally build something, which is why he went to 81 on the intake, no doubt. And so, like with everything, it's a give and take. I've tried to lean it up on the low side. I've tried everything. Die there. Great power. See, what the F, man? I don't know what to do. Such a cool saw, and I want to use it so bad, you know? Look at this thing, it's awesome, you know? It's so awesome, but can't get the damn thing to run right. It's running cool as a cucumber too. Totally, I mean, it's cool. Very, very cool. So I ain't worried about that. I'm also not thinking that, I don't think there's any air leak or anything like that. I want to send it to Kevin Smith. That's what I want to do. Because he's the guru. of these things. But alas, for now, for a minute, I'm done. For a minute. I got to back away from this guy because I can't figure out why it's not running proper. I mean, it'll run if I want to saw that I've got to throttle all the time and stuff like that. That is totally reminiscent of an air leak. I know you guys are going to be like, put a vacuum on it. Pull a vacuum, or pressurize it, you know, do a pressure check, whatever. Maybe at some point.